Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. It is your girl, CWall, here in this Thursday's edition of Coaching from the Couch. Yes, indeed. It is another Thursday, y'all. We made it. Another week. Get excited because we are here together to talk your favorite DC sports. Everybody check in. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you are here. As always, it is a pleasure to be with you all another Thursday. I am so excited because I get to talk to my favorite DC sports fans. You all don't know how awesome it is to talk to you all every single Thursday. Listen, we got to say what's up. Y'all, we got to say what's up to my mom. Got to say what's up to mama. You got to say what's up to my sister, CWall team member, Joy. Joy is always holding it down and facilitating the conversation in the comments. So make sure you say what's up to Joy. Cameron Mingo. Cameron. What's going on, Cameron? Cameron, you probably are the only Washington football fan right now that's got some energy. Where are the Washington football fans with energy? I need you to go and find them for me, Cameron, okay? And tell them to join the live discussion. I'm counting on you, Cameron, to make sure that they join us up in here, okay? Because we doing kind of sad. Security! My big brother, Dervin. Security. That is CWall security in the building. Guess he had to join because it's getting crazy out here, okay? Wallace. What's up, Wallace? How are you? Russ. What time is it? Russ is on time. Russ came to class on time, y'all. Let us pray. This is gonna be, I don't know. This show gonna be good if Russ on time. All right. That's good. Let's all act like we got some sense. Who knows what's going on outside? John Adams. Again, all of my favorite DC sports fans are tuning in. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Listen, I'm wearing my World Series Nat shirts. Y'all know I have many of them. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. This is actually my mother's shirt that I thought was mine, but it is mine now because it's in my home. So, this is my mom's shirt, y'all. We went through this. So every time I wear it, I have to say it's actually her shirt, and I'm wearing it because I couldn't figure out where it came from. But that's the only little bit of championship, flow that we can hold on to. David, what's up? Randall Martin, have to say what's up to the 85 South Washington Football Fan Club. Oh, what's up from Hampton, Virginia? Oh, Stephen, did you know that I'm a Hamptonian? So let me get on Joy's nerves real quick because she's a Howard Bison. Please, hello, my Hampton family. I'm a proud Hamptonian. So good to see you, my Tidewater family. So everybody check in. My brother Mazdak, CWall chaplain, because a family that prays together stays together. So Mazdak leads us in that every week. And there's so many of y'all jumping in. I appreciate y'all. This is going to be a great show. We're just going to keep on just moving right along. You guys make sure you are sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. Most notably, the Washington football team fans. Okay? Because listen, we had all the excitement in the world last week, didn't we? Everybody was happy. All the bold predictions was flying in. Everything was awesome last week, right? We were all on a high from the week 1 comeback. And this week I asked for bold predictions and I got 3 back. I got 3 comments back. So I'm like, I don't know. Where did y'all go? What happened to my Washington football fan people? Where y'all at? Listen, start dropping your bold predictions below. Joy is going to help me monitor all of them. I don't know if everybody said let's just be quiet and pray the rest of this season out, or I'm not real sure what this transpired. But I know in the last week, that's why I had to say, are we coaching from the couch this week, or are we counseling from the couch? I don't know. Listen, Cameron's already said it. We already know. Got a quick plug for the Nats. You know the Nats are all out of playoff contention, and I'm sad about it, but hey, look, what can we do? Until there's a new crown champion, we are the champions, so I'm going to ride that one out until the wheels fall off, for certain, okay? So I'm going to wear my World Series shirt, but I had to throw that out there. The Nats are done for the season. The season officially ends on Sunday. They were eliminated today. It is what it is. Oh, well. Positive thing on Washington football, I think it's positive. Hey, don't you guys, when you watch the game and you see those fan cutouts in the stands, guess what, you guys? You guessed it. You probably already saw it. You too can be a Washington football fan cutout. Who doesn't want to be a cutout? Y'all know y'all want to be a cutout because you want to see your face on the screen and you want to be out there. So listen, I think there's 3 fan cutout options: the Crucial Catch, Washington Salute, and then Washington Gold members. So you got 3 that you can choose from. Make sure you go to the Washington football team website. So, hey, everybody on this comment thread, I need you to go and be a cutout. I want to see your face out there in the stands. I think it would be absolutely amazing. Okay? Now, let's move into our counseling session, shall we? I want you all to leave one word that describes the season so far. We got week 1 under our belt. We got week 2. One word that describes the season so far. Only 2 weeks in, everybody. Only 2 weeks in. But one word that describes the season so far. And Stephen, I already see your comment about the team was flat, weren't ready to play this week. You know, absolutely. Absolutely. Give me one word. And while you all are doing that, I want to see you all's one word, because I want this conversation, and we got to say what's up to Corey for joining us. I want this to be very much a dialogue, everyone. I see your comment, John. You said optimistic. Russ says expected. Mike, what's up? Mike says patience. Cameron says hopeful. My sister Joy says stressful. We got another one from Corey that says patient. Steven says preseason. So one thing that Ron Rivera continues to say and share is the word patience and being very patient with this team. He continues to remind everyone that this team hasn't played a lot of football. And with that means you have to be patient. I see another patient there. Mad says interesting. If we're saying, Maz, when you're saying he doesn't look worried at all, Ron Rivera doesn't look worried at all. I think it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think at the beginning of the season, I might have said, well, I'm going to give the team till about week 3, week 4 for me to make my assessment. And I shared those thoughts with some of my colleagues in the organization, and they straight up told me, no, you got to give them to at least week 8. You got to give them to at least the middle of the season. and then go into an uproar. And I was like, okay, then go into an uproar if you so choose. Several of you all are saying flat. I think one thing that I saw, I'm totally with Patience. They were definitely flat. Can absolutely see some things to be expected. I think probably what troubled me the most after this week was that I saw a team that regressed. And I said, well, wait a minute. I saw a team that the things that they did really well in week 1, they did not continue to do those things out of the gate in week 2. And that bothered me. I said, now, wait a second. Hold up, right? What was working well, second half, week 1, why didn't the team start out like that in week 2? Because this whole trying to play catch up and trying to get it together, just wasn't understanding that at all. And I didn't like it. I was like, wait a minute. They're those same plays that they did in week 1 first half, they were doing in week 2 first half. And I'm like, and it's not working. It's not working at all. That bothered me. But I think it's consistent though, right? It is consistent because you see, all right, well, they didn't get hot or they didn't start to open up from an offensive perspective and open up the playbook a little bit more until the second half. But they still looked so bad in the first half this week. I was like, my gosh, they went out in a blaze of glory week 1, and now here we go. This just looks really bad. But I saw some of the same things that didn't fly the week before. So I was like, that is very confusing to me, you all. I have no idea why what's working well isn't used consistently. So while I can totally on board with Patience, I'm like, okay, but what's working well isn't done consistently. So that's my other thing. Now in week 2, from week 1 to week 2, now we already knew there was already film out there on Kyler Murray. And sometimes you don't know something stinks until you smell it for yourself, right? So, okay, here we are with Kyler Murray, and now they know for themselves, Kyler Murray, guess what, y'all? He's kind of fast. Oh, wow. He's quick. Listen, I went back and I watched the game film. We talked about this last week, y'all, on Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray is as advertised. He's quick. He can beat you with his feet. Absolutely. All of those things. He absolutely gassed out the 49ers. That's how he ended up beating the 49ers week 1. He just wore them out. They just got tired. Right? So I'm like, did they forget that he was fast? Because again, what was working wasn't used consistently. When they got to Kyler, they were able to contain him. They were still able to sack him. They were right there on him. But we saw them hesitate a bit. So I didn't see that same aggression from the defensive line for the entirety of the game. So I was concerned about those two things. I was concerned that what was working on offense was not continue to be done consistently. Namely, I know we saw continue. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it on Sunday. Terry did miss a couple catches here and there. However, Terry was outrunning the secondary on the Cardinals. So I was like, well, why are they not getting the ball to Terry? Because Terry is faster. He can catch most times. Just use the one weapon you do have. I couldn't figure it out. I said, well, what are they doing? And so I'm worried about that. Because this week, they might want to be consistent in from a defensive perspective, and they might want to execute what works well for Dwayne and for the offense. To everybody's point, you already know the offensive line is not the best. So that's an issue. But we also know on Sunday, we did not see Haskins make the best decisions. He didn't make the best decisions. So I said, okay. And to y'all's point, you can absolutely give Arizona all the credit. I think Arizona's a sleeper team. But what I still say was missing was that consistency. There was not a consistent approach to containing Kyler Murray when you know exactly how he was going to beat you. A couple of those touchdowns, Kyler didn't even get touched. He was just open and wide open in space. So that I would like to see the team focus on what they have been able to do well thus far and continue to do that. I wholeheartedly agree with Wallace, exactly what I was saying. And watching the all 22, you're exactly right. Terry could have had 200 yards if he was targeted more. That was what was working. He was burning them boys out there. And I was like, what is the call playing for? Obviously, the call was not set up. The play call was not set up for the ball to go to Terry. But he needs to be targeted more. He's the weapon. Use him. I want to address this question that I see Leon is asking in terms of, are you sold on Haskins? And I want to know you all's thoughts while I share my thoughts. Haskins needs some work. But everybody knew that. I don't think it's by chance or by any other means that they have continued to carry three quarterbacks on the roster. I think that Dwayne has all the talent in the world. I think he needs to settle down a bit. I think he can be so fast and so quick that he moves a lot quicker than he probably needs to. He probably just needs to settle down a bit in the pocket, set his feet so that he can throw the ball with more accuracy. I think he could be talented. Again, I'm going to go with what was told to me. You give him till week 8. And that's my question there. I don't know if you all have any thoughts to Leon's question in terms of, are you sold on Haskins? Being the leader of a team is hard. Joy's point, he has all the potential in the world, but that has to translate to the football field on game day. And there was enough blame to go around on Sunday. The offensive line is not good, but Dwayne still has to play better. They go hand in hand. So where the O-line is deficient, he has to be able to make those decisions and mature, because this O-line ain't gonna save them. Point blank period. They're not. So I'm still a little just waiting to see until week 8 and see how that moves and see how that goes from there. I definitely think there's some teams that are carrying 3 quarterbacks. There's other teams that's not carrying 3 quarterbacks. Even though it is COVID, they're not carrying 3. And especially when you look at the third quarterback that the team is carrying, that's also interesting, very interesting, always will be. So I don't know. I mean, he can get it done. And I think that Scott Turner is doing what he can to ensure that Dwayne can get it done. The fact of the matter is, we all went into the season knowing that there wasn't much talent, wasn't a whole lot of weapons on the offense. We all knew that. So I'm going to continue to say something that we said last week and the week before, that Sherrod had in his article. If Washington wants to stay in the games, the defense is going to have to consistently show up. The defense is going to keep this team in the game because the offense is just not that good right now. Doesn't mean they won't be good going forward, but the defense is the one that's going to keep us in the game right now. other than that, it's going to be rough a little bit. We're going to see some rough moments. I think where Washington was able to capitalize so much week 1 is that the Eagles had some of their key players out. Then they continued to have players dropping like flies. So with all of that being said, they absolutely capitalized. You didn't see that happen to Arizona. Arizona had their team. They were locked and loaded the whole entire game. That could very well happen this week. Now, I think I saw a few people talking about Troy Apke and talking about the secondary. We've still seen some holes in the secondary as well. And that brings me to one of the other questions in terms of which position group you all think needs the most work. That absolutely needs the most work. Pick one. Which position group needs the most work? And while I'm going to continue this conversation, I want you all to drop that below. And the reason why they were targeting Apke, to your point, Wallace, is because he's a weak link. And I want to say what's up to my girl Tina, because I see you on, Tina. Yeah, can we play the fourth quarter first? That second half is so much better than the first. So again, I was hoping to see that second half energy in the first half of this week's game. But again, it was another slow start. Slow start is not gonna work for too long. I see many that's saying the O-line, many that's saying the defensive backs. It's O-line for sure, tight end second. We still do not have a tight end that can create separation. It's not there, at least not right now. I see one that says the running backs. I was hoping to see more considering the team cut Adrian Peterson. I will say I can see what they really, really, really like in Antonio Gibson. I can absolutely see it. But the difference is, and I'm talking running backs, is Adrian Peterson's veteran experience and his vision. That becomes the difference when you're talking about a rookie and Antonio Gibson and just the player and the professional that an Adrian Peterson is. Adrian Peterson was always going to do his best to try to make something out of nothing. And that is what we are missing behind this deficient O-line. So at the same token, as they wanted some more versatility in their offense, right? And AP didn't fit the type of offense that Scott Turner would like to run. But you do miss it when the running game isn't improving by much at all. Russ says, throw the football more than 10 yards. That goes back to my comment about Terry. And Terry was open. He was beating his guys. But Haskins, what the offense being ran is a lot that reminds you of that check down of what you would even see with an Alex Smith. And we know that Alex has been in a coaching and mentor capacity. So perhaps that has something to do with it, because we weren't seeing that happening at all. And you all are mentioning, so you have mentioned running backs, wide receivers, the DBs, the O-line, the tight ends. So with all that being said, right now, the team's bread and butter is with that defensive line. The defensive line has to keep the Washington football team in the game. That is the only way I see right now the team will have a chance. I definitely agree with the comment. I think it's from Damon about Scott Turner needing to be more diverse. Again, it's so interesting how they start out first half versus second half. It's not until the third quarter that we see Scott Turner open up the playbook a bit, be a bit more creative, be a bit more versatile. And it's like, well, why did you wait to do this now when you could have started doing this off the break? If you know it's something that works well and can be executed versus waiting. Still not understanding the whole wait and see tactic that's being used in the first half. Not real sure about that, what's going on either. Definitely on Sunday, I see Steven's comment, coaching has to improve. I'll go back and saying, I have to admit, I was pretty disappointed in Jack Del Rio on Sunday. I know I was. I said with Jack Del Rio, I said, why you don't have the foot? Why you don't have the foot? Why it's not on the gas on the defense? You know what Kyler Murray is going to do. Excellent team. Awesome team in the Arizona Cardinals. But you still know. So you don't have to hesitate. Go at his throat. Why not? Don't create an opportunity for them, because if you do, then they're gonna fly. They're gonna absolutely fly, and that's exactly what we saw the Cardinals do. And it's always that question, right, Wallace? Is it Scott Turner, or are the plays not being executed? I know from what I can see, there's only a certain part of the game in which we've seen more creativity, and it always happens is when they start scoring in the second half. And you just don't see that level of play for the duration of the game. And that is where I'm confused. I'll be honest. Well, if you knew that was going to work, they didn't use, I know they're limited on receivers. They're very limited. But if Terry is out there beating everybody, let Terry have a day. Let him have the day. He wants the football anyway. And do what seems to work for this group. We'll have to see. I honestly want you all's opinion. While I'm reading and looking through the injury report for this week, let me know your honest opinion of what you think will happen this Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns. Let me know what you all think. So the injury report, we got Ryan Anderson is on here. He's got an issue with his shin. Sadiq Charles, he's got a thigh issue. Thomas Davis Sr., Cole Holcomb, Ryan Kerrigan, Steven Sims Jr., Morgan Moses. What do you all think? What do you all think is going to happen this Sunday? Because I'm going to tell y'all, the defensive line is the bread and butter, so I can't wait to see how they respond to Baker Mayfield and to that amazing run game that Cleveland has right now. Cameron's already said we're about to see Baker Mayfield struggle. Absolutely. Kendall Fuller is definitely off of the injury report. We need him out there for the DBs, for sure. I don't know. Hey, I would love to see progress with Haskins this week, because he did not have a great week last week. He hasn't really had a great year, but he still has no turnovers. I think I saw Mike say that. And Baker's going downfield. We know that. We know that if the bread and butter is the defensive line, then we know he's going to throw the ball all day long out there. We already know this. We already know that this is what is going to happen. And I agree, Russ. They have got to put up points. Having that, relaxed way of operating in the game in that first half, that's not going to cut it. And I understand, wanting to continue to say, give them till week 8, give them till week 8, give them to halfway the season. I totally agree with that. But you still want to stay in the game. And I think that's a key indicator in saying, hey, you want to stay in the game and be competitive and not always have to play catch up. You don't want to do that because that's how you got tired. I want to mention this real quick too, because we already at the top of the hour. Another thing that I want to mention is because the defense was out there so long on Sunday, did anybody else see how tired they got? They tired. You can't have the defense out there all day. So we'll see what's going to happen. We can absolutely see what's going to happen, but I'm hoping to see an improvement. I'm hoping to see the DBs step up big time. We were able to see some flashes from the DBs in week 1 because there was so much pressure up front. So if we can continue to do that, get that pressure up front, because if they let Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt go, then that's just too much for one Sunday for me. Because last week, Kenyon Drake on the Cardinals, I'm telling you, that was almost too much. And I really feel like Kenyon Drake is an underrated running back, but we can't have that, or else that's going to be a very long day on Sunday. So, y'all, we're going to see what happens. We're going to absolutely see what happens. As John Adams already said, you want to see progress. I think we saw a bit of a regression this week from week 1 to week 2. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals are absolutely a good team, but I feel as though you got to treat every team like they're a championship team every week, because you got to go at them head to head each and every week, and you got to see what happens. You can't sleep on anybody. You have to go in with the intentions to beat them. I think that this team was just, Sunday, it just didn't come together. And then once it started to come together in the second half, it was simply too late. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Is anybody anticipating a win? We have anybody that thinks that the Washington football team will win on Sunday? John Adams, I know that you do. Cameron, I know that you do. I know that you all think they're going to win. You guys, listen. We are at the close of the show. Another Coaching from the Couch with your girl CWall. I appreciate you all watching as you do each and every week. You guys, listen, make sure you are sharing the show with your DC sports loving family and friends. These last few weeks, we've been doing all Washington football because that's what's going on right now. And so we will continue to focus on Washington football. Hopefully they will win. And we'll see some progress, and we'll see some just some changes made in the intensity and the aggression overall of this team. Hopefully they'll open up the playbook a bit more. The offensive line is who they are. Who we have is who we have on offensive line, y'all. We got to do, that's who we got. So based on that, what are our positives and how can we maximize those positives? And I'm hoping to see some of that progress this week. So see you guys next week. Talk to you soon. And listen to Joy. She said, wear your mask, wash your hands, all that good stuff. Shout out to the essential workers. And I will see you guys next week.